Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to be diving into the Systems Accelerator Manager, and I'm going to show you guys what I feel is a best practice for login all the way through generating something. But before we do that, I want to express my gratitude to you for taking a step up, diving into SAM, and really trusting in us to help you and your real estate business. If for some reason you have just an incredible success story after using SAM, I would find almost nothing better than to hear about it. So feel free, email me, Cody@workflowsecrets.info, and just share that with me. Let's celebrate together. Let's build this community. There are some incredible things that I believe are going to happen for real estate because of this software, and I'm just so excited to have gotten to bring it to the market and for it to have made it this far. It's crazy to have something go from your sketchbook into a system that is actually usable by people, I'm just so excited. But let's go ahead and dive in. From the very start, we are on the login screen. If you didn't catch my email, it's Cody@workflowsecrets.info. Password, not going to share that with you. Tricky. And then we're going to hit the login button. From there, we are going to be inside of SAM. Now, some just housekeeping, I suppose. This is probably not going to be the final interface. And truthfully, I am working with my developing team to build out some more stuff. So you might be wondering what this dashboard is going to have. What it's going to have, it's going to showcase some different stats for you guys about how much of your system is being kind of delegated or divided by each of the core strategies frameworks. So you start out on the dashboard, it's going to change pretty drastically, and it's going to change pretty quickly. So I will circle back and we'll talk about that later. But the very first thing that I want you to do once you've hopped into SAM is move into the profile settings tab. And once we are in here, you're going to notice a couple things. Very top of it is going to be a progress bar. Now, it's going to drop down automatically, or it might be hidden like this, but the progress bar is going to help kind of gamify or show you how well you have filled out your settings. Now, I think that the key to being successful in SAM is having your settings filled out properly. So I do want to just really focus in on this. So there are 3 sections within the profile settings that you need to focus in on: the company, the broker, and the team. All of these pieces are going to be details about the specific company, broker, or team, right? Does that make sense? Name, address, city, state, zip, email, website, all of that stuff. The additional information tabs, this is where you can start to add in some really nuanced information. SAM is taking all of the information that you provide in here, and it is using it when it's generating your content or your systems. So the better you fill this out, the better things are going to be, the more tailored, more custom to you they're going to be. My new rule of thumb is for the additional information tabs under the company, under the broker, as well as under the team, if you have it on your website in that specific area, it would be great there. That's probably the easiest way of putting it. But we've divided it out, company, broker, and team, because we know that you have a lot of different associations as a real estate agent. And sometimes those associations or partnerships need to have different fields to work in. So company and broker, get as much information into that as you possibly can, as well as team. And then the really cool thing that I want to highlight on is adding a team member. So you can click the blue add team member button. You can also delete a team member if you need to on the far right hand side using the trash can. But when you're adding a team member, or when you're looking at a current team member, maybe you go back into your settings and you spend a little time refining this, which I do encourage you to do every now and again, just to ensure that all of this information is really up to date. There are a couple things. So information, that's all pretty standard. The really important thing, the really cool thing that you can do is under member niche. Now, a member niche is kind of the expertise or the field of real estate you specifically focus into. I know in Our Best Workflow Secrets, this is the book that I wrote. We spent a lot of time, pretty well the first like third of the book, diving into niches and how to become an expert. But we encourage you to start with one. Just start with one niche and kind of expand out from there. But maybe you're not a new agent. Maybe you've been doing real estate for a while. Maybe you have several different niches. If you are going to do that, use a comma, separate these values out, right? But you can do some really cool things. New construction. I can't talk and type apparently. But separate out with a comma, and you can add in as many niches as you'd like. I hope you don't have too terribly many, but you can. The other thing is the member's voice. Now, the member's voice is a really cool thing that I've built into SAM, that it will help inform how SAM generates the content or writes for you. So you really want to do, take a moment, sit down, think about, man, which of these words best describes how I like to write? What does it sound like? What can I articulate? Is it friendly? Is it professional? Is it playful? Is it lively? Is it warm? What are these? And select as many as you would like. But when you start honing in on these settings, again, it's just going to help SAM be able to create some really powerful outcomes. Now, currently, there's not anything that indicates that it's saved. I'm sorry. I know some of us get a little stressed out about that. It's probably because, we grew up in the 90s and your power would get flipped off and you lose your Google Docs, right? But it is safe, I promise. We will maybe add an indicator at some point. But after that, that's pretty well the settings. And then we can dive into the system. So the next thing that you can do is move to the generations section. Now, generations is built into conversions, operations, retentions, and experiences. I stole this from Mark's C.O.R.E strategy framework. These are the 4 areas you as a real estate agent need to have good systems in your business, right? Conversions, lead generation. Operations is business operations. Retention's all about having a great experience for your past clients and getting them to remember you. Then experiences is kind of interwoven in between all of these. Another really cool thing that we are currently working on is the build my elements. So what this is going to do is it's going to give you a large list that you can select from of different types of systems that you would want to have in your business. Now, my thought with this is eventually once you have built out that system, it'll check mark it, it'll green light it, it'll do something to indicate, kind of similar to on your dashboard, how these are going to give you some real life data on how you're doing, right? So there's some cool functionality going there. Save generations is going to be after you create something, you can choose to save it. And I don't quite have that functionality built in yet, but it is coming. So you can visit it from the generations tab, save generations. You can visit it from the generations tab. We'll have lots of places you can visit it, but more on those later. Today we are going to dive in. I like to use conversions. It's easy. People understand it. And generally speaking, most real estate agents are always looking for some more lead generation, right? So let's go ahead. Let's build a lead magnet. I keep choosing guide. It's my favorite of all of them, but you guys are probably going to start thinking that this is just fictitious. So let's go with a bullet list. All right. So a bullet list. So now I've selected the resource that I want to build as well as the type of resource it's going to be. And sometimes we don't have a type. Sometimes we do have a type. Wouldn't make sense to have a text message type, right? It does make sense to have social media. I do have these listed as Facebook versus Twitter. Truthfully, it's long form, short form. Maybe we'll add some more in the future. Maybe we add like a LinkedIn, which is like a professional, and we really kind of focus there. But lead magnet, bullet list, that's where we're at. After this, you can do some really cool stuff. So maybe, just maybe, you are sitting here and you are the broker and you want to build some lead magnet bullet lists for a team member that's not you. Well, I don't want you to get stuck having to build it for you and your niches. So you can toggle between your team members. Maybe this one's going to be for Alan, and I'm just going to surprise him with a nice little new lead magnet. Or, maybe this one's for me, whatever. Now that, I will showcase you this. I'll move to Alan because I was adjusting this in the settings. Now we do have a preset member niche. Now, if you click into this, it's going to have a drop down. Now, before I added that comma and added in new construction, it only had luxury homes, right? But now I have new constructions to choose from. Now, if for some reason I didn't want luxury homes or new construction, I can type into this field. Woohoo! Right? I know that seems a little confusing, but this is about as intuitive as I could make it. Member's voice is taking all of those writing words and it's applying them here. Again, you can add to it professional, friendly, and gracious. And then at the very bottom, the objective. I like to say this is the value proposition or the thing that the reader of this piece of content is going to gain and walk away from having read it, if that makes sense. It's the objective of this piece. So I want them to understand a little bit better the advantages of owning versus renting. After that, we just hit begin. So at this point, Sam does take a second to think about it. He's referencing the settings. He's looking at all the different pieces that you have identified here. And then he's going to ask a couple of questions. I call these the refining questions. It's like a tuning fork for Sam, right? So he could create a system without these questions, but he's going to be able to make a custom to you system with these questions. So what I would encourage you to do is read through each of these questions, read through the pre-written answers that Sam has given you. My whole goal, this is like a sidebar, my whole goal with the Systems Accelerator Manager was to give you guys a tool that was so easy to use. It was just silly not to, right? And I know that most real estate agents are either stressed because they don't have enough time in their life, or they just ran up against writer's block and they know they need to build in systems, but they don't have the capacity to, right? I want to help you out with this. I'm going to give you the answers. All you have to do is read them and add your own nuance to them. I like to say you're the expert, it's the real estate agent. And I truly believe that expertise is what is going to be the leveraging skill in this matter. It's not the technology. It's not AI. It's not anything like that. It's you, the expert, right? So we're reading through these. We're going to adjust the copy inside of the answers as we need to. Now, if you're like, that question doesn't make sense at all, why did you ask about that? You can go on the right-hand side, mark the thumbs down. It's not a big deal. Sam will just not think about it. If you go, shoot, I did not mean to mark the thumbs down, mark the thumbs up. There it is again, right? Then once you've done all of that, go ahead and hit continue. Now, Sam has to do one more step. He's reading all these questions. He's looking at what you want to build. He's thinking about your settings. And now he's starting to kind of work out and draw and sketch. And maybe he has his own little magic whiteboard. But he's building out this resource that we are hoping to make. In this case, it's a lead magnet bullet list, right? And after that, he is going to create something that has never before been seen, that is custom to you, based around what you told him to do, based on the questions you helped answer, and based on what's built into your settings. And from here, you can get in here, you can edit, you can add, you can remove. And then once you're ready to go, you can just select all, copy, paste, you move it into your email, move it onto your website, move it into your CRM, wherever it's going, you can put it there. Now, we will add some buttons in a little bit. My goal is to have a copy paste button. My goal is to have a save template button so we can get to the save generations, as well as a back button. That just makes sense. Technically, there's a back button up here, but I mean like back to the desktop, right? Back to the dashboard. And then I have every intention. I'm still working with my developers. This will probably be like a 2.0. This is like a sneak peek alert, but we want to be able to have other software communicate with Sam using our API. which is a fancy way of it's code that makes software talk, right? So I want to have kind of an export button. You click it and you can share it to your CRM. You can share it to your Gmail. You can share it to wherever. Kind of like when you're on Spotify listening to a song and you want to share it to your Instagram story. Exact same idea. That is the goal. It'll probably be a 2.0 release, but that's it. That's Sam. That is how you generate. These are my thoughts, my feelings, my ideas, my suggestions for you about how to use it. And hopefully that was really helpful in giving you a good idea of where to start, what your first log should look like, and how you can have success. Now, from here, what I would encourage you to do is don't just focus on the conversions. Get some conversions, some lead generation stuff built in, get some operations and business operation systems. Look at your past client retentions and see how we can bring back clients. This is like the easiest way to just completely bolster your business. I always ask this question: have you thought about your just casual run-of-the-mill friend, not your best friend? Have you thought about them this week? You haven't? Well, then your past client has thought about you, and you guys could have been great friends, right? That's not anything to like dog on you. That's not your fault. That's just fact of the matter. We don't think about what's not in front of us. So how do we build out experiences that engage with them, that drive value for them, that don't harass them? And how do we really help keep top of mind so that one day when they wake up and say, it is time to sell this house and buy a better one, they think of you, right? Something like 80% of people would use their real estate agent again if they could. Probably 20% of the time they do, the 80-20 rule. But that is Sam. I am so excited. I just really want you to get in here. I want you to have fun, to get messy with it, and do some really cool stuff. I've got some really cool updates lined out in the future. I was kind of sharing them as I go, and there are some really, really cool things that are going to happen. I think if nothing else, if you can move with speed, if you can build out some really cool stuff and you can help your business grow, I'm going to feel like I was a success at doing my job and helping you do yours just a little bit better. Like I said, if you're in here, if you're finding success with Sam, please share with me. I wake up each day and I have to try to figure out why I'm going to go to work. And when I get success stories, it makes it that much easier. So continue to build with Sam, continue to invest in and use Sam daily and generate those pieces of content and the systems that are going to help your business grow and scale, and add in those automations I know that you need. And maybe I can convince you that you need them if you haven't yet been bought in. But that's what I've got for today. I hope this video was inspirational, educational, inspirational, and I will see you very soon.